Have you ever felt like you're talking to someone, but in reality, they're hiding something? Actually, every day we encounter people who wear masks, and you can read them without them even knowing. So how can you truly understand others, not just by their appearance? Imagine being able to know their deep thoughts and feelings simply through small signs that no one else notices. Welcome to Wisdom Daily. In today's video, we'll explore the secrets that can help you read people like an expert, allowing you to understand their true nature, not through words, but through behavior, body language, and how they interact with others. Ready to dive into this fascinating world? Let's find out. 1. The "tell me more" technique. We've all had conversations where it feels like the person is only sharing a small part of themselves, but something makes you feel like they are hiding something deeper. This is where the "tell me more" technique comes in. A simple way to understand someone better is not to ask direct, probing questions or require them to reveal deeply personal things, but to ask a very simple yet powerful question. Tell me more. These 3 words can encourage the person to open up, share more thoughts, feelings, and even experiences they've never shared with anyone before. What's amazing about "tell me more" is that it doesn't require you to argue or counter their points. Instead, it invites natural sharing without making them feel pressured. When you use this question, you're not only showing genuine interest, but also allowing the person to reveal a deeper part of themselves that they might not even be aware of. It creates a safe space for them to open up, and all you have to do is patiently listen. Real-life example. I remember once having a small debate with a friend over a very simple topic: should pineapple be on pizza? Initially, the conversation was just a simple disagreement over food preferences. But instead of continuing to argue or counter their point, I simply smiled and said, "Tell me more." To my surprise, they began to share childhood memories. They talked about family meals, how their mom always put pineapple on pizza, and why they had hated that flavor for so long. The conversation stopped being just about pineapple on pizza. It became a deep exchange about family, sweet memories, and even feelings they never thought they'd share with me. Just like that, 3 simple words opened up a new world, where they shared not just about food, but also their past and hidden emotions. This didn't just help me understand them better, but also created a genuine connection between us. Why is this technique effective? When you ask someone to tell me more, you're not just being a passive listener, you're actively creating space for them to express themselves without feeling judged or forced to defend their point of view. This is how you get to understand others on a deeper level without imposing or pushing them to reveal anything. One important thing to remember is, when people feel they are being listened to, they naturally lower their defenses and begin to share more about themselves, their thoughts, and feelings they might not have even considered before. And that's the key to truly connecting with others. The "tell me more" technique is the first step in building trust in communication. However, to understand others more deeply, we must also pay attention to how they treat those who cannot offer them any benefits. This is a crucial factor in recognizing a person's true nature. 2. Observe how they treat those in lower positions. Have you ever noticed how someone treats people they can't gain anything from? This is one of the simplest and most powerful ways to identify someone's true character. When someone treats you well or behaves kindly toward those who can benefit them, it's not always a sign of a good personality. But when they treat people in lower positions, such as restaurant servers, subordinates, or even a stranger who has nothing to offer them, that's when their true nature is revealed. A person may appear charming and polite when meeting someone with power or who can help them advance. However, when they encounter people they can't exploit, you'll see a stark difference in their attitude and behavior. Their patience, respect, and kindness will only truly be shown when they believe there's nothing to gain from these individuals. Real-life example. I have a very interesting friend who always comes across as extremely polite, generous, and caring toward everyone. We often meet in business meetings, and he's always the first to help and share ideas. However, one time we had lunch together at a restaurant, and he treated the server completely differently. His attitude changed immediately. He gave orders, never said thank you, and even spoke to the server as if they were invisible. That's when I realized that his sincerity only went so far. It was only valuable when he felt he could gain something in return. This made me look at him differently, and I realized that the way he treated people who couldn't provide any benefit to him was the clearest sign of his true nature. Why is this technique effective? How someone treats those who cannot help them advance or offer anything in return speaks volumes about their true character. If they treat servers with respect and courtesy, that's a sign of someone with genuine qualities. On the other hand, if they disdain or disrespect those who are weaker, you can be sure they're not someone you can fully trust. One principle in Stoic philosophy is understanding and respecting everyone, regardless of what they can do for you. Stoicism teaches us that a person's worth doesn't depend on their social standing or ability to offer benefits, but on how they behave honestly and compassionately toward others, even those who cannot give anything in return. But don't stop just at observing how they treat others. There's another very important factor to better understand the person you're communicating with: their past. The past can explain a lot about their behavior and reactions in the present, and it's the key to unlocking deeper insights into someone. Let's explore the next part about how their past can influence their current behavior. 3. Their past is the key to understanding the present. The past is a very important factor in explaining how a person behaves in the present. Their experiences and past traumas will directly affect how they react in current situations. Sometimes, when you don't understand someone's past, you might find their actions difficult to explain. However, if you look at and understand what they've been through, you'll realize that their actions and reactions can actually make perfect sense. We all carry the marks of the past, the wounds, the losses, and the experiences that no one may know about, but they always exist in our minds and actions. When you understand someone else's past, you can start to see them with a deeper sense of empathy, and this helps you build stronger relationships. Real-life example. I have a very close friend, but I always felt that he had a very defensive attitude. Every time someone said something personal, he would react strongly, sometimes getting angry or losing his calm. At first, I thought this was just his personality, but then I started noticing something. He wasn't always like that. One day, he shared his past with me. It turns out that when he was younger, he had been painfully betrayed by a close friend, and from then on, he no longer trusted others easily. This feeling of betrayal created deep emotional wounds, and that's why he always felt the need to protect himself. His defensive actions and anger weren't bad traits, they were the result of the scars from his past. Once I understood this, I began to see him in a different light, and I also learned to be more patient when dealing with his actions. I realized that many times we cannot just look at someone's current behavior without considering what they've been through. Sometimes, the intense emotions they express aren't reactions to the present situation, but rather reflections of scars from the past. Why is this technique effective? When you understand someone's past, you gain deeper insight into their behavior and psychology. The wounds or difficult experiences they've faced in the past can explain why someone reacts in a certain way. For example, a person who seems cold or distant may not be indifferent. It may be because they were hurt in the past, and this is how they protect themselves. In Stoic philosophy, It's important not to be swayed by negative emotions or extreme reactions. However, this doesn't mean we can't empathize with others. Understanding someone's past helps you avoid making hasty judgments and allows you to approach them with a mindset of respect and empathy. The past is a powerful factor in helping us understand others. But there's another very important element in reading people and understanding their motivations: body language and tone changes. The way they use their body and shift their tone can reveal a lot about the truth they're hiding. Let's explore the next part about sudden changes in tone and body language to detect dishonesty or things they might be trying to conceal. 4. Sudden changes in tone are signs of deception or hesitation. We've all sensed that something is off when someone starts speaking more slowly, changes the way they talk, or their tone fluctuates during a conversation. This is a very strong signal that we can use to detect dishonesty or discomfort in the person. When someone's voice changes suddenly, it's not just a normal shift. It can be a warning that they are hiding something, or they are trying to avoid a question or topic they feel unsafe sharing. Through tone and intonation, we can recognize the insecurity that the person is trying to conceal. A sudden change in voice is one of the key signs to help you realize when someone is not being completely honest or when they feel uneasy about something. It's a small but very useful clue in reading people. Real-life example. Once, I participated in an important meeting with a business partner. We were discussing a major project, and everything was going smoothly until I asked a question about a detail that hadn't been clearly explained in the report. Immediately, I noticed a significant change in the tone of my counterpart's voice. They began speaking more slowly. Their tone became unnatural, as if they were trying to think of something or avoid the question. Instead of answering directly, they kept repeating vague phrases and didn't address the specific issue. This made me suspicious, and I realized that the change in their tone was a sign they were possibly hiding something or uncomfortable with my question. I decided to press further and eventually discovered that they had been dishonest about certain aspects of the project. Why is this technique effective? A sudden change in tone is a very reliable indicator of dishonesty or a lack of confidence. When people feel uncomfortable or are hiding something, their body and voice cannot maintain stability. Their voice might get quieter, off-key, or change rapidly, creating a mismatch between what they are saying and their true emotions. So, if you want to better understand someone, pay attention to how they speak, not just what they say. If their tone changes suddenly or becomes unnatural, that's the time to ask questions and dig deeper, because there may be something they don't want you to know. However, not every change in tone equates to dishonesty. Sometimes, these moments only occur when people don't think they are being observed. They believe they can maintain their outward appearance and don't have to worry about revealing themselves. But that's when you can see their true nature. These real moments, when they think no one is watching, reveal a lot about who they are. Let's explore the next section about those moments when they don't think you'll see. 5. True moments happen when they think no one is watching. We all wear social masks, the behaviors we display to fit into social situations. But when we think no one is watching, we drop these masks and reveal our true selves. That's why the moments when others don't think they are being observed reveal so much about them. These moments can be very small, like when they are at the checkout counter or in a public place where no one is paying attention to them. And it's in these moments that you will see how they behave when there is no social pressure influencing them. How someone treats people who cannot offer them anything, like servers, salespeople, or even strangers, is the clearest sign of their true character. When they think no one is watching, they won't try to maintain a polite exterior and might show rudeness, disdain, or a lack of respect. Real-life example. Once, I went shopping with a friend, and we stopped at a small store. When we reached the checkout counter, the cashier was a very young girl, probably new to the job. My friend didn't hesitate to show his disrespect. He spoke to her in a very rude way and gave orders as if she didn't deserve respect. At that moment, I noticed a very significant reaction from him. While we were in the store, he was smiling and speaking very politely to me, but when he didn't think the cashier was paying attention, he showed a different side of himself. He didn't think his behavior could be observed, and that shift showed me that he didn't really respect people from whom he couldn't gain anything. This made me rethink his true character. Why is this technique effective? These moments are crucial because they allow us to see a person's true nature when they no longer try to maintain their image in front of others. When no one is watching, their actions will reflect the values and principles they truly follow. This is when all pretenses are stripped away, and what remains is their true qualities. In Stoic philosophy, we learn that we should not only act with dignity when others are observing, but must maintain those values even when no one is watching. The actions no one sees are the true measure of integrity and virtue. True moments help us recognize the essence of others, but to understand someone fully, we also need to pay attention to their emotional reactions in key situations. These emotional reactions will reveal what they truly care about and prioritize. Let's explore the next part about how their emotional responses can reveal deep values inside. 6. Emotional reactions reveal their priorities and values. Strong emotions, whether positive or negative, are often the clearest indicators of what someone truly values in life. Emotions are not just reactions to current situations, but also how they express their concerns, priorities, and core values. When you observe someone's emotional reactions, you can see what they prioritize, what is truly important to them. And sometimes, these emotional reactions are the key to understanding them more deeply, sometimes even more than their words. This can be shown in all types of situations, from small joys like receiving praise for a job well done to strong reactions when facing challenges or changes. These emotions are not always negative. Sometimes they can be extreme joy when someone gets what they've long desired, but what's important is that they give you insight into the priorities and values they hold in life. Real-life example. Once, I worked with a colleague on a large project. Everything was going smoothly until a small change in the plan was introduced. We decided to modify some minor details in the project that everyone thought wouldn't significantly affect the final outcome. However, my colleague's reaction was very strong. He almost became angry and strongly opposed the change. At first, I didn't understand why he was reacting this way to what I thought was a minor change. But when I looked back and understood him better, I realized that he cared deeply about this project, and he felt that these changes could diminish the quality of the work he had carefully built. He wasn't just defending his work, he was showing his commitment and passion for the outcome he believed in. Why is this technique effective? When someone reacts strongly, you can learn what is truly important to them. Emotions are a great indicator of the values they prioritize. A person may calmly face major changes in life, but react strongly to a small change in their work, showing that they value stability and success in their professional life. Emotional reactions are the way we express what we prioritize in life. You might not be able to read everything from someone's actions or words, but their emotions will always reveal the truth. When you observe carefully, you'll see where they place their values, what really matters, and what holds meaning for them. So, how can you use all this information to improve your ability to read and communicate with others? This is when we need to apply all the techniques we've learned and use them in real-life situations to build more genuine and profound relationships. Let's explore the next part, where we'll summarize all these secrets and encourage you to apply them in your life. We've just explored several important techniques to understand others more deeply, from using the "tell me more" technique to recognizing someone's true nature through their behavior toward people in lower positions, or even understanding their motivations through strong emotions. How they react to small changes, tone shifts, and those tiny moments when they think no one is watching. All of these are powerful signs of their true essence. These techniques not only help you understand others, but they also help you build more genuine and profound relationships. Remember, every small moment, every unconscious action can reveal so much about a person. From simple stories to the ongoing changes in their actions, these are opportunities for you to see through them and connect with them in ways not everyone can. Life is not just about appearances, it's about understanding what's behind every action. Learn how to observe, listen, and continuously develop your ability to read people so that you can build true, genuine, and lasting relationships. If you found this video useful, leave a comment and share your thoughts about the people reading techniques you've applied in your life. What do you think about the signs we've explored? Let's continue learning and exploring deeper lessons together with Wisdom Daily. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any videos that help you grow every day.